First up, Darius Lassiter, guys.
Come on up, right up to the mic, all the way there, my man. I like it.
End of the hour.
Good. Darius, what was it like to score your first touchdown with all of your stadium the other day?
It was a blessing. It was great. It's a different feeling when you score out here at BYU than when you're scoring at Eastern Michigan. The fans really show love. You can kind of hear them as you're running down the field, and then once I got in the end zone and just seeing them cheer, it's just a blessing just to be here in this position.
Can you break down that play for us? Because it's kind of an individual effort in many ways.
Okay, so it was a screenplay. We worked on it all week, but we didn't know if we were gonna get an off corner look or not. So as soon as we seen that, we knew it was green light to go. At first, Keaton had bobbled his snap, so when I turned around, I seen him facing. I seen his back. I was like, oh no, I don't know if he's gonna throw this, but somehow he still managed to get out there. Then the guard pulled. He got in the way of the cornerback, and then Isaac Rex made a good block down the field, read his block, and then Chase coming from the backside and just helping me spring the touchdown.
Do you feel like it was a good redemption game for the receivers after a few struggles in the first game?
Yeah, we knew we didn't play our best Sam Houston, so we had to turn it around. We had to be more physical in every aspect of the game, just run better routes, finish blocks, and I was a main part of that. I just wanted to turn it around. We all did. Just wanted to be show what we can really do as a group.
Is some of that week 1 to week 2 improvement stuff that you can also take week 2 to week 3? Because they say this is the time of year when teams tend to improve the most, right?
Yeah, just building on last week. We can't be satisfied with what we did. Yeah, we all had good games and we all had the yards and touchdowns, but we got to build. This is going to be a bigger, more competitive team than I think Southern Utah was. So we got to come in and lock in all week, like we've been doing so far this week.
What's it mean for the wide receiver room? Just getting healthier. Keeble came back last week. We saw Cody come off the practice field. Looks like he's getting healthier. All of that. Just what's it mean for the group overall to kind of see a more full group, I guess, ready to go?
Yeah, just to have those two leaders back in the room. Those been two guys that's been doing it here for quite some time. So just having their leadership, they boost us up on the sidelines, but we all know they'd rather be out there playing. And so just to have Keeble back last week, that just brought a different energy to the group. And then having Cody ready to go this week too, it's just you can run more plays designed for people like Cody's size. And so just having a full group just makes us even more a threat.
What have you seen on film from this Arkansas team from last year compared to this year?
Oh, they got a new defensive staff, so they run a lot of press man. Their staff came from UCF last year, so we should expect a lot of cover one, a lot of blitzing. So as wideouts, we got to come out there and make a lot of plays.
Is there talk amongst the guys? I know you weren't here about that loss last year. Do you hear them bring that up as you guys are getting ready for this game?
Yeah, I feel like that always sits on the back of their minds. Just know that they were 1-2 plays away from the score being their way and how they wanted to turn out. So they just wanted to come out here and make a statement to show that last year they got over on them, but this year we headed in the right direction with the W.
What does that do as a player when you have that I mean, you've been in there in your experience. What does that do for you when maybe you were embarrassed about how something finished and then you want to turn it around real bad?
Yeah, if not playing SEC is already enough motivation itself. Just wanting to right the wrongs, just proving to everybody that you can do it, even though we're Big 12 and they say that SEC is just powerhouse, just conference, that we can just play with anybody.
Kalani's already said it, and you touched on it a little bit. But Cody Epps is expected to be back this week. What is it going to be like having Keelan, Cody, and Chase and Keon all out there?
Just having a lot of fresh feet out there. We rotate a lot here, so just having him in the mix now, that just makes more people that you can come out, you run a deep ball, you can throw somebody in who got fresh legs, and if they go back, we can just keep rotating on and on. So just having that depth in the receiver room is very much needed.
How much cross-training have you done in all the different wide receiver positions? Which ones have you primarily been playing in the games?
Right now, since Cody's been out, I've been in the slot mostly. So I think most of my snaps have been in the slot. But I started playing on the outside. But so I had to learn the whole playbook when I got here. So Coach Fessy felt comfortable with me throwing me in at the slot receiver.
At Eastern and at your JUCO, were you playing outside or more inside?
In junior college, I was playing both. But when I got to Eastern Michigan, I was more outside unless we would do certain formations.
If from your film eval this last week, what did you like about your play? What did you want to improve upon this next week?
Last week, I just like how more physical I was in the run game. The first week, I had a lot of missed assignments in the running game that I normally don't make, and that I take pride on blocking and just being able to spring runs farther than what they've got. So I just want to build on that, be more physical, just show the opponents that we're the hammer, not the nail.
How did your family like? I imagine they came out from Arizona for the games. A little bit easier to get to the games in Utah.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to get to Utah because you can fly in right from Mesa to Provo. So my mom loves that travel.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
A little easier than getting it at Solani.
Yeah.
Here's A-Rod. All right, questions?
Coach Kalani said that Cody Epps is expected to be back this week. How big is that going to be for your offense?
Well, he's practiced a little bit yesterday and today. Had a little setback. I don't know if he's going to be ready, but he did a little bit today. So it'd be great to get him back if we ever do. But he's not sure yet.
What did you make of the other receiver who finally got his debut a little bit a week later in Cubo and his performance and everything? Was it what you expected, or?
Yeah, he's a good player, and he brings a lot of toughness, veteran presence, and he's just a tough kid that plays with a lot of confidence, and I think the other guys feed off of his energy.
Are the concerns with the lack of rushing attack the first 2 weeks overblown, or do you feel like it's something that is fixable going forward?
Yeah, we'll be able to run the ball this year. I mean, Saturday we were playing against a defense that chose to have safeties standing 7 yards off the ball, and they were just daring us to throw the ball over their head. And so after the second possession, that's what we started doing. We could have kept going right into the end of the fourth quarter. We could have kept throwing it over their head because they were not backing up. So, the offensive lineman can only block 5 guys, and then there's 2 or 3 more guys there that you can't block. And so we chose to throw it, and we had a lot of success doing that. And so I was really happy with 41 points in only 55 plays. That's good. So there's going to be another game here sometime where somebody takes away the pass and dares us to run it, and then that's when we got to prove we could run it.
Will Aiden be the starter then this week, first ball carrier out of the gates?
LJ's going to start this game, and Aiden's going to play too, and so is Dion, but LJ's going to start this game.
What went into that decision to go with LJ, give him the start?
He's breaking tackles.
How impressed were you with Keaton Slovis' week 2 performance compared to week 1?
Solid day. Yeah, he played well. That was more like what I expect him to do. And I thought he looked good. And it's like playing quarterback is you need guys, the other 10 guys around you to play well. And I thought Saturday our offense played. We executed better. And gave him a better chance to look good. And then he did his job pretty well. So I was pleased, but we need to keep working.
Isaac Rex has been a big part of this offense for years now.
Yeah.
What was it like to see him get that 65-yard run?
I'm just proud of Isaac just after everything he's been through. Guy's been through a lot physically, and to see him playing the way he's playing right now is says a lot about who he is and how much he loves the game and how much he's willing to sacrifice for the team. Last year, he was just, I've said it so many times, but he really laid it on the line for the team last year to play hurt, and it makes us all happy to see him healthy now and running like he used to. He's playing really good football.
What's the scouting report for, without getting into too much of your plan, but any changes from Arkansas defensively compared to last year? I know they've changed a lot offensively.
They're a lot better on defense this year than they were a year ago, and they're big and very big team. All their DBs are 6'2", D linemen or D tackles are 318, 320 pounds, 6'4" guys. They got a DN that's 6'7", 280, and another one that's 6'4", 280. It's a big defense. Backers are tough and fast. So just man for man, they have a lot of talent and physical tools. And then they're playing really good defense, very sound. They're executing very well, and we have our work cut out for us. They're, statistically, it's only 2 games, but they're up there with the best defenses in the country right now statistically. So it's a huge challenge going to their place, and totally different defense than a year ago.
you've been high on your offensive line, but you like the depth. Any reshuffling at that position group or that?
No, I like those guys, and I believe in those guys, and believe in what we're doing, and I think those guys are going to play well on Saturday.
How has Chase Roberts improved from a year ago to now?
Just veteran stuff. A year ago he was a super athlete out there, but every game there was like a couple things that would happen, like, oh, that's the first time I've been through that, and then this year, it's just the game starts to slow down for you the more you played. It's more situations each game. It's sort of like been there, done that. Okay, I'm ready for this. I've seen this coverage before. I've seen this pressure before, and I know how to react to it. So he's just playing faster mentally than he did a year ago.
First week, you mentioned that you weren't able to get into kind of the creativity of your offense a little bit. Some of the things were struggling. Second week, it looked like some of those specials came out. And kind of how did you feel about your own play calling from week 1 to week 2?
We dusted off a couple things last week, but we're probably 30% of what we have in store for this season. I mean, we're just barely getting into the stuff we practiced in fall camp. Yeah, it's a long season, and you don't want to show everything in the first 2 games. We're playing against some very well-coached defenses that have good players, and they'll have great scouting reports on us. We've been running the same offense for 3 years, so that's a factor here. We're going against a team that knows a lot more about us than we know about them. So we've been trying to have some things for the coming opponents. Yeah.
What's your concern level? I'm sorry if you've been asked.
Yeah.
With the run game, I know they played the low safety.
Yeah.
What is your concern there?
Well, we have a lot of work to do, but if anytime a team plays us like that, we're just going to throw the ball over their head, and we believe we're really confident we can do that against a team that doesn't want to back up. We do need to get better. We need to run harder, break tackles. We need to block better at all 11 positions. We need to coach better, and it's a team thing. The run game is an 11-man deal.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, guys.
Hello, guys.
Hey, Connor, how are you?
Good.
Connor, overall evaluation of offensive line through week 2, the 2 games specifically.
Pretty good overall. I feel like we've protected well. We've kept Keaton clean for the most part. I think we're only responsible for maybe 1 QB hit, which is good. Run game obviously needs to improve. I think there's a lot of factors to that, but getting better every day and making adjustments and improving there. So,
what's been the challenges for you coming back with an offensive line that's pretty much all new compared to the past couple years?
I mean, it is a little bit different, not being next to guys you've played with for multiple years, just because how you do certain blocks or how your combinations are, how they handle things in protection, you get used to those things with certain people. And so obviously you have to kind of adjust, right? And there's chemistry that has to be built as a unit up front. And so I think we're still in that process a little bit. But overall, I think it's for how different it is, everyone either being at a new school or playing a new position. I think it's been pretty good overall considering how much turnover there was.
Coach Hunt was talking about that cohesion. How do you tell when, okay, hey, we're locked in? How does that feel, or what do you look for to know that you're getting to that point?
I think when, unexpected things happen live and you just handle it without even having to talk to each other, communicate it, that's when you kind of know, like, okay, we're all thinking the same thing, we're all on the same page. And, I think, there's challenges that come with that and getting to that point. And, Sam Houston, was a tough team to start out with on that front because, when you twist over 80% of the time as your base defense, that poses some challenges for an offensive line. But that was a great game for us to have to kind of work through some of those things, and we're still working through some of them. So.
Go ahead.
Thoughts on Arkansas, how much they've changed defensively this year compared to what you saw last year?
I mean, yeah, they're quite a bit different on defense, but, they're really solid players, good defense, strong defense. And, I think, there's a lot of carryover from what that coach did at UCF. And, at the same time, though, has some new things, just different personnel, different players to work with, right? Maybe in some ways a little bit better players across the board for the entire defense, but they look really solid. We're excited for the challenge.
Does this sort of game still hold the same level of significance for the program? Because these spots in the past used to be season defining. Now you're in a league. There might be questions of what this game really means. I mean, does this still hold a huge importance for you guys?
Yeah, I think it's really important for reason number one being it's the next game. You know what I mean? It's the most important game on our schedule right now. And, even though conference play comes later, I think, anytime you have a chance to go and play a team that took one from you last year in your home stadium, there's some extra juice there. And then, we kind of get to represent the teams here out west going into the SEC, and try to go put a good product on the field and represent the guys out here. So,
Connor, how's the move with you going to guard and Paul starting at center? In your opinion, has that worked?
Yeah, I think it's been good. Overall, I mean, obviously it's different for both of us, right? He's in the same position but new system. I'm at a position that I have played before, but only in 5 games, and it was 2.5 years ago, back in my freshman season. So, but I think it's been good. Obviously, there's every position on the offensive line is very different. Anytime you move anywhere, there's angles change, the speed of the game changes because of the distance from the people, and there's a lot of things that you kind of have to get used to again, which I had to work through some of those things in training camp and stuff like that, but I think it's been good.
Could you educate us and media and fans on kind of the differences between zone and maybe man blocking and what the percentages are between the two in your particular offense the first 2 weeks?
Sure. Zone, you kind of work through areas a little bit more, and because the zone schemes typically help you handle movement a little better, and it's easy to get picked when you're running a man scheme. So we ran a lot of zone against Sam Houston for that reason. And, I guess for a man scheme, it's exactly how it sounds. You have guys that you've declared that you're going to, and no matter where they go, that's where you end up. And so there's pros and cons to both. We're pretty balanced on offense between how much man we run and how much zone we run. So that's kind of the dumbed down version, I guess.
That's what we need.
Yeah, you guys are all idiots, right?
You know that.
I'm just kidding.
I wanted to ask about mentality. When a team wants to stuff the box, and you're going to still try and run the ball at times, how rewarding is it, or what's the mentality that you have to be like, hey, we're going to make this play work anyway, even if you put 8, 9, 10 people in the box?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great mentality. I think 2021 was probably our best year of that. We were the best 4-minute team in the country, where we'd end games with 7 minutes left, where they knew we were going to run it, put 9 dudes in there, and we could move the ball. And I think SUU tried to do that to us last week, having their safeties down at 7 yards. And so, I mean, we're not idiots. You're going to play your safety at 7 yards, we'll throw for 400 on you and 4 touchdowns or whatever it was. So, but I guess we're just an okay team though. So, but I think it is, it's something you take pride in as an offensive line, to be able to move the ball in the run game regardless. And so, those last 2 weeks have stung for us a little bit in that sense, of where we haven't been able to do that as consistently as we wished we would have. But I think, and there's a lot of reasons for that are being addressed. And so I'm excited for, this game this week and getting the run game going, and for the rest of the season. So hopefully, we don't want to be peaking in the run game right now. Hopefully we can build it up and make it better every week and peak at the end of the season. So.
Speaking of that run game, Roderick told us LJ's going to get the start this week. Just your impressions of LJ as a freshman coming in and what he's provided.
I mean, he's played really well, right? He's done remarkably well for how young he is and just how hard he runs. And he's made us look good on a few runs, where we didn't block one so well. There was one play in the game against SUU, his 17-yard run that he had. I didn't do a very good job on my guy, and I kind of lost leverage on him, and he broke the tackle, went for 17. And so, it's, all the running backs, have the ability to do that, and LJ's been doing it really well throughout the first 2 games. And so it's a little bit unprecedented for a freshman to come in and have that a big of an impact immediately. But, I mean, we have to do a better job for all the backs, I think the struggles that Aiden and Dion and even LJ at times too have had running between the tackles is our fault. And so, but LJ's done a great job with the opportunities that he's been given, and it's been fun to watch. He has a really bright future.
Hey, last one for Connor. You get a chance to go to Arkansas after
Yeah.
they kind of pulled away at the end last year. Is that something you think about and remember and be like, hey, because BYU traditionally has done pretty well, when you get another shot at a team that got you.
Yeah, I think it's definitely something you think about, because one of the goals we have as a team is to protect Lavelle's house, and they came and beat us at home last year, and so anytime you don't defend your home field the way you want to, you kind of have to. You have that little bit of an edge to the next game, a little bit of a revenge factor, and but there's a lot of guys on this team that didn't play in that game, and so a lot of transfers, and so it's interesting. There's a dynamic. There's some guys who are like, very revenge driven in this game, and then others that are like, oh, we haven't even thought about this, so it's been kind of funny. But all right, thanks guys.
Okay, thanks Connor. Good luck this weekend.